What is up, you guys? So, some crazy news. Daniel Smith has basically done, it sounds like the impossible. What she has done is come out with an address to basic needs. This is what we need to survive and thrive and help Albertans and Canadians become more prosperous and more rich. What Canadian wouldn't want that? These are the things that she's requesting.
Call it an Alberta Accord, if you will. First, Alberta requires guaranteed corridor and port access to tidewater off the Pacific, Arctic, and Atlantic coast for the international export of Alberta oil, gas, critical minerals, and other resources in amounts supported by the free market, rather than by the dictates and whims of Ottawa. Every province in the country, other than Alberta and Saskatchewan, have coastal port access, and no province needs it more given the size and value of our resources. This will benefit all Canadians to the tune of trillions of dollars of economic activity, including billions for First Nations partners. Second, the federal government must end all federal interference in the development of provincial resources by repealing the No New Pipelines Law, C-69, the oil tanker ban, the net zero electricity regulations, the oil and gas emissions cap, the net zero vehicle mandate, and any federal law or regulation that purports to regulate industrial carbon emissions, plastics, or the commercial free speech of energy companies. These laws are destroying investment confidence and costing Canada and Alberta hundreds of billions in investments each year. They need to go. Third, the federal government must refrain from imposing export taxes or restrictions on the export of Alberta resources without the consent of the government of Alberta. Frankly, all provinces should be given that same respect for their resources. And fourth, the federal government must provide to Alberta the same per capita federal transfers and equalization as is received by the other three largest provinces, Quebec, Ontario, and British Columbia. We have no issue with Alberta continuing to subsidize smaller provinces with their needs, but there is no excuse for such large and powerful economies like Ontario, Quebec, BC, or Alberta to be subsidizing one another. That was never the intent of equalization, and it needs to end.
And if they don't do that, steps will be taken. And if the people are voting for a way out of Canada, it will be acknowledged. Now, she has mentioned treaties 6, 7, and 8, and those treaties must be honored, and the natives, the indigenous people, will have to choose the way they want to go.
I also want to state unequivocally that as Premier, I'm entirely committed to protecting, upholding, and honoring the inherent rights of First Nations, Métis, and Inuit peoples. Therefore, any citizen-initiated referendum question must not violate the constitutional rights of First Nations, Métis, and Inuit peoples, and must uphold and honor Treaties 6, 7, and 8, should any referendum question ever pass. This is non-negotiable.
Now, this gives us time to educate the people because this will not be put on a ballot. It will be not put out until 2026. That allows the time for Alberta to be properly organized, to be able to separate, if that's what's going to happen, if enough signatures are there to get that vote out. So this is a very, very important time for people to be educated and to consider all of the angles. But if Carney says no on the growth for Alberta, you can bet your bottom dollar there will be less money in your pocket in the East, because the West won't be sending that money over like they always have been, because they will be restricted in their growth. So either way you look at it, if you want Canada to prosper, you let Alberta do their thing. If Alberta doesn't get to do their thing by the federal government, then Alberta will be able to grow and prosper on their own. Those of you out east who really believe in the movement, really believe in Canada being prosperous, Alberta would welcome you. The West will welcome you. I mean, we want more people this way that want to join our cause and join prosperity than not, right? I mean, we want to grow. We want to be put in the lead for economic growth. And we have so much to offer this country. And I believe that if we were really, really taking this seriously, offering our gas to India and to Japan, everyone else who wants to have our natural gas, we can help by getting them to stop burning coal which is more dirty. I mean, if you really want to move to this more, economic greenery growth stuff, then we can help others do it. I mean, Alberta, Canada itself is actually the lowest on the number for pollution, like in the world. Like they're so low, they don't even really fit on the scale. So we are already leading in the market of clean energy as it stands, and it could get better for us, if we have even better ways of having energy in the future. But we are already leading in that, and we don't need to keep doing this carbon tax thing to try to lead in that. We need to be able to get our product out so we can help those other countries to get their cleaner fuels. They'll be happy, we'll be richer and happy. I mean, this is a win-win. So if Carney doesn't want to let this stuff go ahead, then you know exactly the direction he's going, and it's not for Canada.
Likely, we will place some of the more popular ideas discussed with the panel to a provincial referendum so that all Albertans can vote on them sometime in 2026. To be clear from the outset, our government will not be putting a vote on separation from Canada on the referendum ballot. However, if there is a successful citizen-led referendum petition that is able to gather the requisite number of signatures requesting such a question to be put on a referendum, our government will respect the democratic process and include that question on the 2026 provincial referendum ballot as well.
Blessings to you guys. Let's pull together as Canadians and be free.